On this edition of Herk's Workshop, we'll be taking a closer look at the balloon and the skewer. This was a good little demonstration to do at the beginning of a series, a show, if you want to call it a show, when you have a group of kids together. This was a good one to get started off because the kids understand balloons. They understand what happens when you stick a pointy stick in a balloon, and you can use that for an opportunity to engage the kids and to get them tuned in to what you're getting ready to show them, because there are things, even with a simple little stick in a balloon, that when done properly and successfully, have an opportunity for the kids to go, I didn't see that. So let me go ahead and blow up a balloon right quick. With the balloon that I'm doing right now, it's not, I'm not making much of a show out of blowing up the balloon. It's just simply blowing it up. But if you're doing a performance of some sort and you want to, all of that and getting lightheaded and all the things going on with just yucking it up with the kids and having fun, you can do that as well. So we start out with just a basic balloon, a basic skewer. And you say, what happens when I do this to the skewer? And the kids are already doing this. And so usually that's a good thing, because what I usually do when I start with this is actually pop the balloon to show that, yes, this is a real stick with a real point, and this is a real balloon, and it will pop. So here we go. Cover your ears if you like. Alright. So, and then when they're, that kind of thing, you get another balloon and go ahead and blow it up. One thing to remember when you're blowing up the balloon, be sure the balloon is not bigger around than the skewer is in length, because you are going to, if it's successful again, get this to go through. I like the balloons that are a lighter color, the neon color, as often, and I'm not sure how much of this one, we might be able to see with the light, but I like to be able to, for the kids to be able to see the skewer as it goes in through the balloon. One thing I will often do is dampen the skewer just a little bit. It's nothing magic, nothing really, I don't know if it's even scientifically sound, but for me it seems to help it to go in. Now the key is where this goes in and where it goes out. So let me get a little closer. You see on the end here, you see this little dark spot. It's on most balloons, not all, but most have this little dark spot. And when you're coming out with the skewer, you're going to want to aim for that dark spot. When you're going in, it's equally a dark spot on the bottom. And I'll explain, let me go ahead and explain why this works. And so what happens when you blow up a balloon, the balloon expands this way. And while it's expanding this way, it's making the latex of the balloon thinner and tighter and easier then to puncture. But in the same breath, that's a little pun, not intended. In the same breath, when you're blowing it out, you're also pushing it in at the top and the bottom. And so the balloon is blowing out this way, but it's compressing this way and this way. And that's one reason you see the little dot here, and it looks darker down on this side, because the balloon has not been stretched out as much. So back to where we were. You take your skewer and again, do it up as dramatically as you want or whatever, but you take the skewer and then automatically the kids are putting their hands over their ears. But you take that, and that first little puncture is something that they go, "Wow, I didn't expect that." And so you just stick it in like that. And you see it's already in. You can see it there. And so and they're like, no, they still think it's going to pop. And sometimes it does, not always. And one good thing about having a balloon that you can see a little bit in is because when you see where it's trying to come out there, that's not the spot. That will be a disaster. So you aim for that little dark spot. And I think, I want to get this right, I think that'll work. And if it doesn't, again, you blow up another one and you go again. So here we go. You see it starting to push through, but it's not popping. And so we're going to kind of hold our fingers and aim between the little slot in your fingers, not through your finger. We don't want blood in this experiment. So you just sort of aiming right between your fingers there, and you just sort of give it a little push. And what do you have? You have a balloon with a stick right through it. And so you can see, perhaps you can see the dark spot there, and that's where we perforated, that's where we stuck the skewer through at the end. And again, we went in on that end. Now, here's the thing. When this is, again, since this is inflated, it's pushing out. And so it's pushing the balloon, the latex of the balloon, it's pushing it in against the skewer, and that's what's sealing it up. Same on this end, it's pushing it back around the skewer. And so this is why it's not deflating. But if you listen carefully, you can hear a slight little hiss. And you know, if you wanted to pop it at that point, you could, or you can just set it off to the side and just let it sit there, and it will, like I say, occasionally it will eventually deflate. If you wanted to do that a little quicker, you can take the little part where you tied it and just sort of give it a tug. Listen. Hear it? What I'm doing is making the hole bigger and stretching the hole, but when I stop pulling on it, it closes back around the stick again. And so that way you can control kind of how fast or slowly it comes out. And so if you want to hold it like that and let the kids watch, and then at whatever point you want to stop, you can stop. And so it's still, you can actually see it gathering around the skewer there. So it's got a good little seal on both ends. And so that is the balloon on the skewer. Now, one of the professor's favorite little things to say is, that's nice, but we can go bigger. And he uses the whole go big or go home. So to use the go big or go home, we have the punching ball that you can get at a lot of department stores still. Take the punching ball, and it's the same principle. You would blow it up. I'm not going to blow the whole thing up right now, but you can blow the whole thing up. And remember, I said if you got the balloon bigger than the skewer, then you had a problem. So at that point, I think you're going to need a bigger skewer. And so you get these larger ones that they sell in the usually in the camping section of the department store, for either doing marshmallows or hot dogs or whatever. And so you get these, and so you can have, and generally when I blow these up, I'll get a balloon about this big. And again, same principle. You go in through the base, and you come out through this little, it's got a place for the rubber band to go in to make a punching ball. But if you go up through the little channel there and come out the end, generally that works okay as well. And so this one makes for a big boom if you make a mistake, or a big wow if you nail it properly. So punching ball and camping skewers. So that is the balloon and skewer. And hopefully you understand a little bit about how it works. And I found this to be true. A lot of the kids they'll just say, "Oh, that's amazing! I like that. Do it again. Do it again. Do it." And you've got those couple that are sitting there, and they're like, "How does this work?" Some will say, "It's magic." It's not magic, of course. It's science. But and others will say, is this how this works? And so you have a chance then at either during the performance, if there's enough interest, or afterwards when you're chatting with the kids, you can tell them that here's the science behind it. And so you have an opportunity to teach a little bit more in depth. And so if I'm teaching you, then perhaps you'll be able to pass that on then to the kids. And so again, the balloon and the skewer. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you again another time.